My husband paid for his own funeral, by user Wino12312. I used a local funeral home for his cremation and funeral. They didn't take life insurance, it had to be paid up front. So, I used what I thought was our credit card. I called to have his name removed. I was told that I was just a user and he was the owner. I asked to have the card in my name. She told me I was just a user and couldn't own the card. This isn't true. Any credit card will let you assume ownership and be responsible for the bill in the US. So, not one to argue, I just let it go. I never got a bill, letter, anything. So, that's how my late husband paid for his own funeral. Edit, I tried to take ownership. The bank wouldn't let me. The attorney told me not to pay it. The bank could have sued the estate. But they would have had to establish an estate and then sue it. Also, this is a huge multinational bank. They have never bothered to collect any of the money. Boss said no shorts, by user Bear MC. I work at an office that sells bulk goods to businesses that use them, like retail outlets etc. Our office doesn't usually have a strict dress code, but we recently got a new boss, ass hat, who is quite literally the stick up my ass. He's constantly yelling at everyone about basic shit, like punching in a minute or two late/early, or being a word or two off the script during outbound/inbound calls. Dealing with him in general has made me hate the job more. As it's getting hotter, I've been wearing khaki shorts to work for the past few days, which is something I've always done for the past few years and nobody has confronted me about it before, so I figured nothing would change this year. But boy was I wrong. About halfway through my shift, this boss comes to my desk and realizes I'm wearing shorts, and is visibly annoyed. He mutters something under his breath and goes back to his office. An hour later I was called into his office, where he proceeded to berate me about breaking dress code. He was fuming, and ended the meeting with, "From now on you follow dress code to the book, or you're fired." Say no more, boss. That night I went home and read up on the dress code rules. There was in fact a rule against shorts, so I was annoyed, but kept on. And then I found it, there is no rule preventing males to wear skirts/kilts. Here's where I devised my plan. I immediately ordered a pink and white striped kilt online, as well as matching knee-high socks and shirt. There was no rules stated in the dress code against any of this, surprisingly. About a week later the clothes arrived, and here is what ensued the following workday. I walked in, wearing my new pink business outfit, and immediately the whole office is staring at me, and the boss who came in to cover another boss's shift in the morning was beet red in the face, and yelled at me to come in his office. He goes on a 10-minute rant about how I'm a useless employee, and that he's going to fire me for not following the dress code to a T. I simply stated I am in dress code, I urge you to read the employee handbook. He ended up reading the whole thing in front of me, and I could see him getting more and more angry as he realized I didn't break any rules. I asked him, am I free to go back to work? And he looked at me with a death glare, muttered something under his breath and waved me off. When mom goes on strike, by user languid_bot. When I was a baby my mother was home full-time with me and 3 siblings under the age of 6. According to my mother, one day my father comes home and is mad because dinner isn't ready and waiting for him. Mom tells him she's been busy and it'll be ready soon. Dad says he doesn't know why she didn't do it sooner, and here's his mistake, because it's not like she's been doing anything all day but sitting around babysitting. Foolish, foolish man. Game on. My mother decides she will show him what life is like when she sits around all day doing nothing. For the next few days mom lets the kids run wild. She picks up nothing. She doesn't tell the kids to pick up anything. She doesn't stop the kids from getting into anything. Mom said she just sat around making sure nobody was doing anything dangerous. She doesn't clean, do laundry, etc. But dinner was waiting. LOL. After several days of a hot mess at home my father couldn't take it, he apologized and admitted he was wrong. Quite a milestone in our family. Dad was not known for admitting he was wrong or apologizing. Mom 1, Dad 0. Edit, just wanted to say this happened 1967/1968. Edit 2, thanks for the awards. Glad some of you got a chuckle out of this family story. Not working from home, by USCR2. I am an educator, educational specialist, and my district has been allowing some people to work from home all this year so they would not have to take sick days. Well, this January, my child was sick, so I asked if I could take 2 work from home days instead of sick days because my position would allow for that. I was told in no way was that going to be possible because they are not doing that anymore and I have to take sick days. I told them that it would be absolutely perfect for me to work from home because I wasn't having classes that week anyway and I could get all my paperwork completed over the next 2 days. We also have our office phones set up on our laptops so I would be able to take phone calls from home as well. This would cost my district zero money to allow. Nope. Still denied. I maliciously complied. Being that I was not allowed to work from home, I sent an away message on my email and voicemail that indicated since school district no longer allows its employees to work from home, I will be out with a sick child and have taken my own personal sick days to take for him over the next couple of days. I will be returning emails and voicemails upon my return. I did not answer my cell phone from coworkers or bosses. I ended up being out 3 days and there were some major issues at work that could have been cleared up in about 30 seconds if only I was allowed to work from home. On the bright side, not working from home allowed me to get some really great mommy/toddler snuggles. It also allowed me to come to the realization that school districts don't really care much and this is why we are all so burned out. He told me we didn't have to see each other, so I didn't, by user Juan_more_timey. A few years ago, I started seeing this guy casually. We both explicitly agreed when we started that we weren't really looking for a relationship. That went on great for a bit, but a few months and things started to get ambiguous. He started acting really inconsistently, sometimes acting and talking like we were in a relationship, and sometimes ignoring me or getting really flaky. Now personally, I wasn't actively looking for a relationship because I had a lot of things to focus on at the time, but I wasn't opposed to it either. I was good either way, so long as I knew what was going on between us. In hindsight, the ambiguity was itself a red flag that I should have taken at face value regardless of relationship status, but hey, we learn best through experience and I didn't realize it at the time. So after a few weeks of him seesawing back and forth particularly hard, I had had enough and decided to talk to him about it. Honestly, I was fine either being casual or in a relationship, I just couldn't tolerate being in between, and I wanted to set up boundaries. When I tried to ask him about what he wanted to do, though, he blew up. Basically tried to convince me it was all in my head, that I had made up his behavior. When I pushed him for clarity on what he saw us as, he responded that we're just two people, who see each other when they feel like it, nothing more. Clearly not what he had been communicating before, but I did ask for clarification, so I get what I get. If he had said it without the gaslighting, I probably would have been okay with it, but at that point I was ticked off. So I said okay. Talked with him for a few minutes. Led him to the door. Smiled goodbye. Then closed the door and never saw him again. He probably thinks I ghosted him. But I know, all I did was accept his terms. We were just two people who saw each other when they felt like it. It just so happened that after he blew up at me about the whole thing, I didn't really feel like seeing him. He did end up messaging and calling me a few times since then, asking to hang out. I answer, but I'll never see him. I don't feel like it.